Welcome to the 20th of September 2024 garden tour. I'm just going to go through some of the highlights, some of the flowers that look particularly good, and maybe update you on how the hardy annuals are doing, the autumn sown ones. We've got a few things that have self-sown as well, always a good idea to look out for those things. Let's have a look at what we have in store this month. My third succession of scabious is just about to flower. It's a lot shorter than the autumn sown and even the spring sown, but it does give me a few extra options. What I've also noticed though is that the cynoglossum, which was here after the tulips, has self-seeded. So I've got lots and lots of weeny little plants that I'm going to pot up and over winter. I'm going to do that in the greenhouse. I think they're going to do better in the greenhouse. So that's a real bonus, and I've got some other things that have also self-sown that I'm going to pot up too, which I'll show you later. The other things to note here are these wonderful cosmos cupcakes, which are this beautiful, beautiful blush colour. I've been cutting plenty of helichrysum for drying, which is why it doesn't look like there's a lot of flower here, but I've been using them fresh and cutting them for drying. I've got my Sweet William in now, and Hesperus are in, so that's some biennials in. We've also got some Amodium alatum right here too, as well as another crop of helichrysum, which are really doing a fab job. And the clary sage that I cut back at the end of the summer is starting to come back as well. Fine for bud vases and that sort of thing. Looks really lovely and fresh and vibrant in the clary blue, the white and a bit of pink as well. The sweet pea arch has definitely had its day, and I really need to clear these sweet peas. I do have a nice section of Spanish flag, which I'm going to show you in the moment. In the meantime, the cosmos, the purity are looking fab, as you can see, enormous. The apricotta seems to be a little bit, struggles a little bit more than the purity. It's still okay for some use, but not amazing, not as strong as the purity. I found the apricotta just a bit more contrary, really. On the other hand, my late crop of creme brulee, phlox creme brulee and phlox cherry caramel is really looking promising. Purposefully planted quite late because I've got some October weddings. This is phlox creme brulee. It's all sorts of different antique shades, and here's some lavatera, which has self-sown from the summer crop, which I might pot up and overwinter. And then behind me, some amazing zinnia. This is State Fair, some nice bright colours there, and also we've got some fantastic Queen Red Lime and some Cinderella Lilac, which looks more pink to me. So that, yeah, the zinnias are doing okay as well. They would prefer it to be a lot hotter and less wet, but they're still hanging in there. The Spanish flag that I was telling you about, it's not necessarily something I would use for cutting, but it's quite fun to try different things, and it got there in the end. Meanwhile, the summer sown or spring sown creme brulee is still going strong, as well as the cherry caramel, but it's nice to have that fresh batch that I showed you a little bit earlier too. And then another thing I'm quite pleased about is these snaps, which again have been sown for an October wedding, and they're looking pretty promising. Just got to see what the weather's like. Pretty sure these were sown in kind of mid-May. I'll need to look it up. But yeah, we've got some pretty good stems here. Fingers crossed we don't get rust on them. I've still got a few more weeks before I need them. But this, yeah, lovely Chantilly bronze, I believe this is. So I'm gradually turning my garden over to more perennials, and I just love this combination of Stiper and Aster, Ficata, Monch. I've also got a Geum in there, Geum totally tangerine. We've got some echinacea, all sorts going on. So amazing just in its first year how much this is coming on. It's looking a little bit sad down on the perennials now that a lot of them have gone to seed, but there's a few annuals fitted in there, so let's just see what's looking good today. I guess the main thing is the Tithonia, that is still managing okay despite we've had a lot of rain in the last couple of weeks on and off, so it's still okay and getting quite big in places, so I'm going to hang on to that. And various types of cosmos here. I think it's mainly Sensation, so these different shades of pink, but I've also got one or two other ones that were left over that popped in here as well. And that's about it. Most beds, I'm starting to clear some beds here, so yeah, let's have a little look further down the garden. Actually, this fountain grass, or Panic and Frosted Explosion, actually I think it is, it's a little bit on the short side. I'm not quite sure why, whether it's in a bed without many nutrients, but it's going to have its uses. Yes, not a lot to show you down here. This is a type of biddens, which I spend my whole life trying to get rid of. It is pretty useful, and it's really quite a nice colour for this time of year. Very quite, you know, just a nice, useful, airy sort of plant. But you've got to be so careful because it is quite invasive, or I have anyway. The other thing is the sedum, just really nice colouring up now. Let's have a look. Sedum, although I think it's called something else now, is quite an underrated plant. It started off in the green, gradually started colouring up and really coming into this beautiful pinky red colour now. It's really autumnal, so it's great to use. And Chelsea chopped bit at the back just means I've got some smaller, thinner stems as opposed to big chunky ones that we've got here. Let's have a look in the little greenhouse. How are those hardy annuals coming on? I've been potting up and transplanting in stages, so these are actually, some of these have only just been transplanted yesterday. These were scabious, so I've got some little scabious here, some daucus here, and then we have got clary sage, what was this? Oh yeah, larkspur. Larkspur was amazing, and I got some teeny tiny snapdragons down there, and I mean teeny tiny. And just look at the pelargonium. It's well up to waist height now, and I cut 20 stems off that yesterday, so it just loves this warm weather. The scent is amazing, a really useful foliage to have in hand, so to speak. The other hardy annuals, which have got sort of next stage on, are in the bigger greenhouse, so let's take a look at what I've got in there. Well, so most of these hardy annuals here were all sown right at the end of August, actually 22nd of August. Yeah, generally done around about the same time. So I've got sweet peas, some clary, cornflower, some Annie, avatira, scabious ping pong, corn cockle and orlea. And I forgot to say, I actually managed to do some autumn sown sweet peas. So actually middle of August, seems quite early to me. But anyway, I've just potted these on. Got to be careful they don't damp off actually in here. They're going to be better off outside, to be fair, so I think I'm going to get them outside. It's too hot in here for them. They don't need the heat. They are cold lovers. So I'm quite excited to know that I'm going to have a good early annual crop. And I'm going to overwinter in the greenhouse, probably planting out mid-January-ish. The main thing I've got to worry about in the greenhouse is that they don't damp off, so that overwatering is the bane of my life. Meanwhile, other things, touch wood, doing pretty well in the greenhouse. Still got a bit of slug attack, but so far, touch wood, I can't see too much sign of green fly, which is a good sign. So it means that the predators must be doing the job in here. So we've got this lovely Cinderella peach. We've got some great Celosia flamingo feathers, and some more zinnias, queen red lime, mixed in with a bit of peach here as well. Meanwhile, the Panic and Frosted Explosion and Amaranthus velvet curtains, all self-sown, is doing fab. I keep taking stuff off to dry or to use fresh, so I'm keeping the height under control this year. So let's have a look at the dahlias. And waiting in the wings, I've still got some biennials to plant out. So some more Sweet William, pretty much done with Hesperus actually, some more foxglove, and I've also got some wallflower and some more foxgloves and Canterbury bells up there. Oh my word, don't they look good? I seem to have plenty of oranges, some nice dark red and burgundies here of Downham Royal, Evelyn dotted here and about, Sweet Natalie, Bellflower, lots of gorgeous dahlias, many of which have been wholesale recently actually. So far things are looking okay. Just got to keep them going for until mid-October if I possibly can. Fingers crossed. Let's have a look just on the other side. I've got some pretty good cosmos I want to show you over there, as well as the status. Suffered with all the rain, but it's going to have a resurgence. I just need to take off all the dead stems. You can never have too much cosmos in my book. I absolutely love it. So really happy that this has kind of found its way with all the rain, and also delighted that the Daucus Dara, which was maybe an April sowing, Finally, it's decided it's going to flower. This is Daucus dara, by the way, and it's going to flower. Fingers crossed, it's going to hold on as well until the wedding's in October, and it's going to make a really nice addition to some bigger arrangements there. So that's a bit of a bonus. The statice, to be honest, it's had a bit of a battering, and I need to cut out these stems. I've done quite a bit of cutting out, but anything that's just suffered with the rain needs to just get cut out, and then we should get another flush. So we've got another flush coming here. So it does go on for quite a long time. You've just got to keep on top of it like most things. The calendula has gone, so we need to say goodbye to that. I need to cut that out. Lots of lovely seeds. I might save some seeds. We talked about that last time. So we've got some nice calendula seed heads here. But yeah, on the whole, that's got to come out, and I can maybe put some of the hardy annuals or the perennials in, biennials in here. Okay, let's have a look at the last little patch. I think the main things to note here are the snapdragons. They just keep giving. As long as you get a variety that isn't too prone to rust. So I've got my ivory coming back again. The rose have always been a bit diddy anyway. These are apple blossom, and I've got one or two here, but yeah, really happy with the ivory ones. Scabiosa has struggled a little bit. We've got bits and pieces, but it's not a massive crop. So I just pick through that at the minute. But that's about it really, the kind of highlights of this month so far, mid-September. So that is it for the September the 19th garden tour. I wonder if I'll have managed to pop these on before next time, see how much bigger they are. These are the Lavatera, and due to the white labels, I immediately know that these should be the white ones. So I really hope you've enjoyed this tour. Just a couple more months, 3 more months to go of 2024, and the gardens, yeah, really going to start getting put to bed soon.